Oh, good evening and welcome to the Amadeitist Spiritual Service. Our guest medium this evening is, of course, Lainey Baine, although she's got a different name there at the moment. Very warm welcome to you, Lainey, and thank you so much for stepping in at the last minute to help us out. Thank you. Outline of our service this evening will be as follows. We'll have an opening prayer, followed by an address, followed by some music, then a moment's silence for distant healing, followed by some music. Then we'll have a demonstration of mediumship given by Lainey, followed by our notifications and closing prayer. As usual, the chat will stay open for anyone who wishes to stay behind and chat. Okay, so I'll now hand over to you, Lainey, for the opening prayer.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, just to save confusion, my name on platform is Lainey Baine, and my professional name, my actual name is Elaine Ford. So I forgot to change it. So thank you. Okay, so opening prayer. If you'd just like to get into your quiet space within and just start slowing your breathing down, sending out your thoughts of love to both those here on the earth plane and those in spirit. Divine source, guides, spirit friends, and loved ones. Please surround each and every one of us with your healing light and your love. Place a golden color of protection around each and every one of us this evening. I ask that you work with me and through me to provide evidence of life after life. I am but your vessel, always in truth and love. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Lainey, I'll hand it back to you when you're ready for the address.
Thank you. I was asked for tonight to choose a couple of pieces of music, and I chose two, hopefully you'll like them, pieces. One of them is called Sound of Silence by a group called, oh gosh, I've forgotten their name, Kevin.
Disturbed.
Thank you, Disturbed. And don't be scared by the name Disturbed, but you listen to it. For those that haven't heard it, hopefully you will enjoy it. It is such a moving, soul-moving piece of music. The other piece is Debussy. It's Clair de Lune. It's just the piano, and it's utterly stunning, completely contrasting between the vibration of the guy from Disturbed singing and just the no words, just this beautiful, tranquil piece of piano music. The reason I chose those two is because people, sometimes we feel like there's no silence out there. Yeah, even if you're, thankfully I'm not deaf at all, but I've got a mum who's visually hearing impaired, and there's certain tones that she can't hear. There are people that, you know, we have so much going on in our lives that sometimes we just want that sound of silence. We just want that peace within. And that peace isn't just our own audio through our own hearing, but in our mind and in our hearts and in our souls. The other piece, the piano music, is going to be coming after the healing prayer. And hopefully you'll understand the difference and recognize that different vibration in those different types of music. An example would be, you're ready to go out on the razzle and you're getting ready and you put on banging music and you're there and raring to go, and it's uplifting. It's raising your vibrations, raising your heart, your energy levels. You're having a bad day, you've had a relationship problem, whatever it is, and you bang on the sad Celine Dion music and whatever, and you're bringing that energy down. There's levels, there's energy. We are all energy. Hopefully this makes sense. If it does, please nod. Thank you for the nodders. Yeah, and it's just to let you know that if you think we are affected by so many different things, by sight, sound, smell, taste, and vibration. And it's that vibration, listen to things. Hopefully after this, my waffle, you'll go and listen to music now and actually listen to the subliminal side of it, the energy levels of it. Raise up your energy level with that music, whatever it is, whatever works for you. It's also the wording as well. And they say words, we allow people's words to upset us, to hurt us. But we can choose not to do that, if that makes sense as well. It's difficult at times, but we can choose. There's, where was I going with this? Yeah, so it's the energy levels, it's raising it all up, okay? I'm going to leave it at that purely because it's listen to the music that you're going to hear tonight, and hopefully what I'm saying will make sense to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lainey. It certainly makes sense to me, but I've heard the music already. We have our first piece then.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. And no one dared disturb the sound
Yes, I can remember the very first time I heard that, and it was so powerful, very moving. Thank you for that. Lady.
Absolutely.
Right, well, please join me now in a moment's silence as I send out healing to all those who are in need of healing this evening. If you know someone who is in need of healing, please hold them in your thoughts as I read out this prayer. Gracious Spirit, of thy goodness, hear our anxious prayer. Take our loved ones who are suffering, neath thy tender care. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, may thy presence shed a healing ray, turning all their night of darkness into glorious day. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, shouldst thou claim them, be their light and guide. Lead them to thy heavenly kingdom, safely by thy side. Loving Father, hear us. Hear us. Amen.
You're on mute, Kevin.
That works much better for me. It's one of those nights, isn't it? Well, I said it did exactly what you wanted it to do there, Lainey. It's complete contrast. Beautiful. Thank you for that. And now I'd ask you all to send out your love to Lainey as she links into our loved ones on our behalf. So I'll hand over to you, Lainey.
Thank you. I'm just going to take myself off mute. Hold on.
You were off mute. You put yourself back on?
No, I'll explain.
Okay.
If you something I learned throughout the last however long this has been going on, all this restriction business. But if you're on mute, you don't have to keep going off, unmute, etc. You can just press the space bar whilst you talk.
Yeah.
Take your finger off and you're muted again. It's very clever. But I've just taken myself off mute.
Off. Yeah.
Let's see those nodding heads again. If you felt the difference between the two energies, the vibration, but also the moving of that Claire de Lune, the last tune, the piano, although it's soft, there's still so much power. And I just want to cry for both, but it's a weird feeling. Anyway, that's just me. I'm just weird. Okay, so thank you for inviting me along, Kevin, and I apologise for the tardy start, but I've got rid of my washing now, so hopefully all's okay. Basically, I tend to work in a way that is I will ask you to start thinking of a loved one in spirit. If you think of that person, that loved one, I would like their first name and their relationship to you, and I will endeavour to bring that loved one through. Okay. What I would ask each and every one of you is to, I believe they can unmute themselves whilst I'm reading for them. Is that correct, Kevin? Yeah, thank you. All right. So it's nice to hear your voice as well. That just helps that energy, raise that energy level too. But also think outside the box, because sometimes we come along and we're very blinkered with who we want to hear from and what we want to hear and that sort of thing. Okay. All of this is my interpretation. I am but that conduit, that telephone. I'm the telephone, okay, between them phoning and speaking to you. All right. So it's just my interpretation. So I'm not perfect. I'd like to think I am, but I'm not. Okay. So if you've got an idea of who you'd like to hear from, I will just look at the faces on the screen and see who I'm drawn to. All right. If you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I've got so many up there, just choose one and they can endeavour to bring the next one through. All right. Obviously, there are quite a few of you on here, so I need to limit my conversation with you, my little my connection with you. So I can only apologise. All right. So here we go. So, Fran, I see you lurking over there. I'll come to you in a minute, lovely. Bear with me. So, okay. Okay. Right. There's Fran again. Okay, going to come to you first, Fran. All right. So good evening, my lovely. Let me do the view thing and I'll put you on to speak a bit there. All right. So Fran, you okay working with me, my lovely?
Yes, ma'am, yeah.
Okay. Who would you like to hear from?
Sarah.
Sarah, and who is Sarah to you?
A friend.
Friend, yeah. Okay, so Fran. Right. Okay, Fran, would you understand that Sarah, she just makes me feel like she's quite, I say, a fun character, but also like got a very serious side to her. Would you understand that?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. She gives me the impression that she would have liked the music that we've heard tonight as well, in the respect of the energy side of things, in not necessarily those pieces, but would understand about music. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just feel like, although, sorry, I'm just reaching over to grab my handbag. Would you understand as well that she would have kept stuff in a bag, like just always had something with her all the time? You know, if you needed a tissue, she'd be there with a tissue, that sort of thing. If that makes no sense to you, that's just me looking for a tissue in my handbag. Again, it's just my interpretation.
I can't ever remember having an handbag, actually.
Okay. If I explain, and I'm not trying to make this fit, but sometimes I interpret things and they are the exact opposite. Okay, not just a little bit. I'm on about the exact opposite. So what I've said about the handbag is she never had a handbag. That is the exact opposite.
Okay.
So again, I can only apologise, but just going to blow my nose. Excuse me. Okay. Right. Go for it. Come on. Oh, okay. I just get the feeling that this. Come on. She makes you feel like she's not struggling to come through, but she makes you feel like she would have almost in a shy kind of nature. Would that
Yeah.
make sense to you? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Because she's trying to. It's almost timidly shy, and it's like no. She just makes you feel like she was a very intelligent lady, very intelligent lass is what I want to call her, not a lady. In the respect that. But she didn't have any faith in who she was and her own abilities. Would
Yeah.
that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Come on. And she's biting her lip. She just makes you feel like she's almost like, oh, I don't know. And then right, okay. And now she's like, you know what? I haven't got to be like that anymore. She says, I'm finally free. Is how she makes me feel. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm finally free. But she says it in a almost like a relief kind of feeling. Yeah. Okay. But that's also tinged with sadness too,
Yes.
because not for her, because it was what it was, is how she makes me feel, but it's for those left behind.
Yeah.
And oh, bless you. She makes you feel like she's saying thank you for remembering me. And would you understand lighting a candle for her? Or when you light a candle, you see something, you see, and right, okay. The moon, I've just seen the moon tonight, in the respect of that energy from the moon. But she just makes me feel like she was very much like an earthly, she makes me feel like an earthly sprite. That's in her mannerisms and the way that she almost viewed the world in a childlike way. Would you understand
I
that?
can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wish they could just say boom, 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 and I could say this, but I've got to interpret all these things. Okay. Oh, bless you. She's just placing in my arms a baby. Okay. But I feel that baby is with her. And I feel there that it is, go for it. Oh, okay. Would you understand? She never had children on the earth plane.
No, she didn't.
Okay. But she makes me feel like she's got one with her. Like it's just like this. She could be mother to all babies now, because she makes you feel like she doesn't have to. There's no worries anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that sort of thing around her. There's no pressures anymore. And she just gives me impression that this baby in her arms it's a symbolism. The fact that she didn't have one here,
Yeah.
but the fact that she can just help those that are coming into the world now, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
because I just feel that she was very much a caring person, but also a very misunderstood person.
yes, that's right. Yeah.
Because people didn't know her. And they just saw this, but didn't see this or this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay. But she just makes me feel like you knew her, and she had the beautiful golden heart.
Yes.
Is how she makes me feel. And it was just too much for her in the end.
Yeah.
Does that make sense too?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I kid you not. I'm being shown a what's that? A seesaw. Okay, I could see the word, I can see it, but I couldn't remember what the word was. A seesaw, and it was like this. Her life was like that, always up and down. And she says, now I can go like this. She says, I am perfectly balanced now, both in mind, energy, and soul, and I'm ready for the next step. That is how she makes me feel. All right, and I know you're here and it's a spiritual evening, but I just feel there are times when you feel her around you. and I just get the feeling that, you know, she's sitting next to you. I see that, I can't see if you're on a sofa or whatever, but I
Yeah.
just see her sitting beside you and enjoying the telly is how she makes me feel, and just having a laugh and making her own commentary about what's going on in the telly. But you understand that?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's so much fun, but only when you allowed.
Yes.
No, sorry.
I know what
She
you mean.
allowed you into her world. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But she says thank you, and I'm being shown the deaf, the sign language, isn't it? Okay, I'm being shown that for thank you. I don't feel that she was deaf or anything like that, but she makes me feel like she was very aware of those around her, and maybe a bit too much. So she gives me the impression she was very much an empath and took on too much, both, you know, the woes of the world, and she just makes me feel like she wasn't. It all just got too much for her. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But this balance business, she says, I am this beautiful sparkle now. And you do see sparkles. I see, you see it's just a light glinting of something here and a light. She says, that's me. I'm giving you a bit of a wink, she says. And she thanks you for being her friend,
Oh,
but
thank
for
you.
being her sister. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, I know what she's getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But she says thank you. And also she's given me August as well as
Yeah.
a month as well. That's very special. It's
Yeah.
a special month. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But she says thank you again. I've got to give her your love, and no, give her love.
Yeah.
Give you. Oh, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's how I just feel she would have been like that and got her words muddled up as well. Would that make sense?
Yeah,
It's almost like she was going too fast
yeah.
to yeah. What was in here didn't always come out here, or maybe a bit too much.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. I'm just remember it used to get her in trouble a lot. Yeah, her mouth. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But she's laughing now. She says,
Yeah.
because I can, I'm free. And I want to leave that with you.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Thank you so much, Fran. And thank you for, she says, thank you for remembering me. And she says, she's raising a glass to you as well.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
With another wink. There's lots of winking going on.
Yeah.
All right, Fran. Thank
Do
you.
that. Thank you. That was great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Right. Okay. Where are we going? Can I come to Sharon, please, with a double R? SHARRON. Okay. Hi, Sharon. I'm just going to put you on my speaker gallery. Oh, I've still got. Speak again, Sharon.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, there you are. Hello.
Hello.
Sharon, who would you like to hear from, my lovely?
Bertha, my nan.
Oh. Nan. Oh. Okay. As soon as you said her name, I feel that I'd say she was a Bertha, but I feel that she was known by quite a lot of other names as well. Would you understand that? Like different age levels had a different name for her. Different, you know, it just makes you feel like she would have had 15 different personalities, but it was all in the same beautiful Bertha. Would that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay. And she just makes me feel really joyous. I just want to be, it's almost like a bouncy bubble, and I just want to be airlifted up. I wish I was that light, really, but that's how she just makes me feel. Because if you had a really rubbish day, you could go and visit her and you knew you'd come away smiling. In fact, you'd go and see her and you'd be smiling before you even got to her. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Okay. I also get the impression that we don't, or it's not always a done deal with our nans, that we know them from a very young age, but I feel she's been there for you from before conception. Would that make sense? She's been there for you. Okay. But you've been there for her too, and I feel that you've had that, I say, a special bond with her. I know she's your nan, but we're not always close with our nans, or even our own parents. But I feel that there's been, there was just something special about that relationship you had with your nan. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I see. Would you understand the expression retail therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like to do with your nan and you. Would that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Because she's laughing her head off, and it's just like even if you went out and just had a look in the windows and you know, when I tried things on and whatever, and she just makes you feel like, come on, let's go and what can we do next? And trips out, and I feel there were trips out as well. Would that make sense to you as well?
Yeah, it
Just
would, yeah.
say, not so much holidays away, although I feel there were those, but I feel like it's just those little special moments. It's almost, she just makes me feel like she just dropped everything to like, come on, let's go and do this. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you understand as well that she had, I'm trying to see her hair, and I just feel that it's quite, say, curly or
Yeah.
wavy, but it's quite almost really tight. Would that make
Yeah.
sense to you? Yeah? Okay. I kid you not. She says I was like a coiled spring ready to go boing. Would
She
that make
was.
sense too? Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
she was.
But what a sense of humour. It's absolutely awesome. And she was an awesome nan. Is how she
She
makes you
was,
feel.
yeah.
Not big-headed at all. But she'd just walk into a room and you knew she was there. But it's almost, you know, like you can have a room full of happy people, miserable person walk in and everybody's miserable. Her could walk in and everybody was like, okay. And it was just something about her. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just funny. Okay. Now, I don't know where you are there in your little room, but I just feel that if it's not this room, but have you been doing some painting or something, or just talking about decorating, but changing something in your home, one particular room? Would that make any sense to you? Even if it's just thinking it.
Yeah, this room.
I will go with that then, yeah. But it involves, yeah, because she says, oh, I know. She says, I was involved. She's going, I'm shouting. And you go, no, wrong colour. Choose this one. Or just make your flaming mind up. Would that make sense too?
Oh, no, not. It probably will later. You know, it's like, I'm thinking about this one. I don't know. I haven't chosen colours yet, but.
There you go. That's what she's saying.
Maybe,
Make your
yeah.
flaming mind up. But she's saying it was such fun because you've got to put the laughter into life, is how she makes me feel. Because there's so much misery out there. Why bring it
Yeah.
into your heart? That's how she makes me feel there. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'm getting very serious from her now. She's like, I'm here for you always. And I am, but she loves the way you've done your hair, by the way, because I'm just being drawn to your plait. But there's something about your plait. Would you understand Nan actually taught you how to do this or would have done this for you? Your plaiting?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't like probablys. It's got to be yes
Oh.
or no's. Oh, no. I don't mean about you. It's like, you know, from them. So yeah, but that, if that makes sense, because
Yeah.
I just see her, it's almost like she's playing with your hair or doing something, and but I feel as well that she was the kind of person that would have not stood up. No, would not have put up with numpties. Would that make sense to you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wouldn't have argued with her either. Because she makes you feel, oh no.
No.
And she gives me an impression of hot cross buns. And I'm trying to say, I don't feel she would have made them, but I just feel there's something about, you just always knew you'd get something nice to eat when you went round there. Something you wouldn't normally get at home. Would that make sense to you? Yeah?
Yeah.
So are we going to see Nan or are we just going to go and get what she's feeding us? Would that make sense to you? Yeah?
Yeah.
But she loves, there's something about jelly as well, because she's showing me something about jelly too. And these are happier memories for you. Would that make sense to you? Yeah. Because that's what you need. It's just remember how much you've got already. And she just wants you to remember that, because life isn't as serious as you make it feel it is. Would that make sense too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let all those other dramas go on around you, she says, but you can only look after you. All right. And paint it pink with sparkles in, she says, if that's what makes you happy. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on. Okay, I'm being shown October as a special month, and I'm saying special month. It's just it's got a birthday, anniversary, or passing in that month, but I feel it's more birthday or anniversary. Would that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
It would. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not arguing with her, because she's just like, no, think about it. She says, think about it. But she is such a fun lady. But I also get the impression that she had her serious side too. And she was definitely, I say, the matriarch of the family. Would that make sense to you too? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And when she passed, it's like nobody Nobody can step into those feet. Not feet, shoes. There you go.
Yeah.
But would you understand about her issues with her feet as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I get all these things come through. So I mentioned feet. Why? And she's just saying, she's saying along the lines of, you do well by taking a little bit more time, stepping back yourself and putting your feet up. Would you understand that? A bit more looking after you time,
Yeah.
because you are worth it, she says. You are looking after yourself. She loves what you're doing. And I know you're saying about this room that you're in now, potentially decorating it, but also the moves that you're making within your surrounding, your situation at the moment. Would that make sense to you too?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, go with your gut instinct, but also with this brain of yours as well, because she makes you put the two, you know, like the seesaw I mentioned earlier, you've got that balance. Yeah. Don't just go with, try and balance the two, because whatever your decision is, you've got to make you happy too. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not just a job. It's not just this. It's got to be worthy of you, for you. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, bless her. Would you? Okay. I was being shown like triangle, and I'm like, okay. But she's showing me, no, is it the Dairy Lee? The little soft cheese that you get in like the little triangles, and it's just,
Yeah.
she makes me feel like she would have given you stuff like that, just to,
Yeah,
you
she
know.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. She's
Mhm.
just given you one of those. It's symbolic. Got no calories or guilt goes with it because it's from spirit. All right. But and she's
Okay.
laughing at that as well. Would that make sense too? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just says, "Mwah, I love you so much," she says. And it's, I'm
Aw.
still here. I'm around you. You feel her around you. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
do.
okay. And this room that you're in now, she says, put your own touch on it.
Yeah.
Put your bit of sparkly magic in there. Would that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to leave her love with you because she's just got so much of it. Your mum's still here.
Mhm.
Okay. Would you understand this is mum's mum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Purely because I'm just getting the feeling that she's around mum as well, and mum, whatever's going on with mum at the moment, let her know. If mum will accept it, please let her
Mm.
know that, "Mwah, I've got love for her too." All right. Because it's
Yeah.
almost like mum misses her mum, obviously. I say obviously, but she's feeling a bit more vulnerable than usual at the moment. Would you understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. So Nan is just giving you all these massive hugs. She says, because my arms have got as long as you want them to be, she says, and they're just bringing you all together and giving you that hug because she loves everyone. And she's laughing about your dad's still here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then she says, I'm bringing everyone together except for your dad, she says. And she's laughing at that. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Something she'd say. Yeah.
Okay. But please take her love because she's got so much of it. I would love to spend the rest of the evening chatting with her to you. All right. But she says, no, got to put my feet up now, she says. All right. With a cuppa. She's giving me a cuppa as well. All right.
Okay.
Would that
Yeah.
make sense? Yeah. All right. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sharon.
Thank
All right.
you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. Back to gallery. Oh, I've got to go for Patrick Monaghan Spiritual. The long old name you got there, Patrick?
Yeah, I tried to make it longer, but it didn't fit in the box.
Oh, which reminds me, thank you, Kevin, for changing my name over to back to Lainey. Appreciate that. Okay. Patrick, who would you like to hear from, my lovely?
I'd say Mary, my mother.
Mary, your mother. Okay. Right. When you said Mary, my mother, I just got the feeling of, oh, okay, I've got to mind my P's and Q's and I've got to be on my best behaviour. Would that make sense to you?
Kind of, yes.
Kind of. And would you understand that I have to call you Patrick and not Pat?
Exactly.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Because yeah, I've called him Patrick for a reason, and that's how she makes me
Absolutely.
feel. Yeah. Okay. She makes you feel as well. She wasn't a very big lady as well. She just makes like height wise. I just feel she's quite. I'm 5. I used to be 5'10", having my
Oh,
knees
wow.
done. I'm 5'9" now. Every little inch counts, as they say. But she just makes me feel like she was about 5'6", 5'7". Would that make sense to you?
I'd say about 5'5", something like that. So yes, 5'6".
5'6", yeah. Okay, 5'5". See,
We'll
every
go with
little
that.
inch counts. There you go. There's a reason for me
Exactly.
saying that. Okay. But she was a powerful lady, is how she makes you feel
Absolutely.
as well. A force to reckon with is how she makes me feel.
Yes.
And yeah, there's something about her teeth as well. She's like bringing me to her teeth. Would
I
that
can
make sense
take
to you?
that because she got false teeth, and I said they look terrible, and I bought a new ones, so I can take the teeth. And I said when she dies, I want my teeth back, so I can take that bang on.
There you go. Okay, I'm just smiling with my teeth now. She's like, she says, I don't need them anymore, but thank you. And she would have said that to you, that kind of thing to you as well. I don't need it
Mhm.
anymore, but thank you. Because she makes you feel like she was very grateful for what she had, but also grateful for having had you,
All
because
right.
there's something around her life around the time that you were conceived and that you were around, you were born. Would that make sense to you? How her life was then?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it changes then, doesn't it?
Oh, changes all
And
the
then
time.
she
But
got a special child too, so I suppose that was it.
stop feeding me, all right? You can tell me afterwards. I don't mind, Patrick, but I
I'm
see.
only
I can't
joking.
use
I'm
any
not
of that.
special.
Okay, you are very special, and that she just makes me feel like okay. She just makes me feel like life was sometimes an uphill struggle. Would that make sense?
Absolutely, yes.
And I feel it was a mixture of the home life, finances, emotional, mental, and there's just this whole list of things, she says, and being a mum, and it was an expectation that she knew exactly what she was doing, but she didn't. Would that make sense to you?
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And there are decisions that she's made through her life and being a mum, and those decisions that she feels, looking back on it, she wouldn't have made them if she'd known better. Would that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. She said, I can't change any of that, as you know.
No.
She says, but look how you turned out.
Okay.
And you've not done too bad, she says. Yeah. Would that make sense?
Yes.
And
Yes.
she
Yes.
makes me feel this sense of pride and love, but she gives me the impression as well that she would have found it difficult to have given you that information, to have said, I love you, son, I'm proud of you. Would you understand that? Understand that
Yeah. Yes. In a way. Yes.
in a way?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't like in a way, but come on. Could you understand that you were with her at her passing or just before her passing?
Yes.
Yeah. Because there were words expressed then, and I feel it was more the words you were saying to her while she was not quite with it. Would you understand that, Patrick?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to hear the words you were saying, but she says they were very private words, not for a public hearing. And
Okay.
she just says to let you know that she heard them all. And she was
Okay.
inside in here, she said, because the last thing to go when we die, unless we are hearing impaired, is our hearing. And she said, I heard every single word. And thank you for releasing me. Would you understand that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And she appreciates no matter what, she thanks you for the love that you still shared and gave her. Would that make sense too? And the
Yes.
kindness and the caring and the companionship, but that makes me feel like it was more towards the end of her life, the companionship side of it. Would you understand that?
Kind of all the way through, to be honest.
Okay, apologies. Okay. The companionship closer to the end, it was more the spiritual companionship there.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's like it changed. Would that make sense? I'm only
Absolutely. Yes.
explaining that because it's like, well, there's a reason for me saying that, and
Yep.
it's more the spiritual side of it. Okay. Because she gives me the impression you helped open her heart and her mind and her eyes to spirit. Would that make sense?
I'd say yes, but she also saw spirit too. So,
Okay.
but she would accept it. You see.
Yeah,
So
she
you're
wouldn't, or
right.
she would. Yeah.
No, wouldn't.
Okay, but you helped her. There you go.
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
there's a method to my madness. Okay. Would you understand? I've got a cut on my finger. Look at that, everybody. It's very sore, right? That's through the canine tooth of my puppy.
Oh, no.
And I'm just like being drawn to that. One, I'm delicate, but two, I just feel, would you understand that you've knocked or hurt yourself? You've done something that you're feeling delicate over this thing, but it's would you understand that
I
at all?
only did it yesterday, and it's my thumb.
Come on, show us your thumb.
Well, you can't see it, but I used a blowtorch, and as I was talking to my son, as I turned to him, I put the blowtorch on my thumb, so it's very sore.
Yeah.
Although you can't
Bless
see
you.
anything.
No,
No, it's my stupidity.
yeah, but but she's letting you know she's around and she's aware of
Absolutely.
that. But she's going, she's just kissing it better and then laughing. More like a cackle-y laugh though, as opposed to a joyous laughter. It was more like would that make sense?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, good. But she says thank you, because you brought the light into her heart.
Oh,
And it was
okay,
at a
thank
time
you.
when she needed that. Okay. But also at the end of her life as well, you brought that light into her heart. Would that make sense to you as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And for her funeral, she makes me feel like there was a particular poem, like we've just heard Claire de Lune, the piano,
Yes.
but I feel that there was a particular poem. I'm trying to see what poem it is. And I just feel there that she just makes me feel like there was something, and it was the words in that poem. And she says, I went through every single thing. She says, because I'm around. I'm energy now. She says, I've got so much energy. And that's how she just makes me feel. She says, like having a whole packet of those Lucozade tablets. Yeah. Would that make
All right,
sense?
yeah. Yes.
Yeah? And okay. But would you would you understand that mum was diabetic, or yourself is, or the diabetes around? Would you understand that?
I was told I was diabetic, but I stopped eating, and it seems to have stopped. So
Okay, because that's where the Lucozade tablets come in, because you wouldn't normally be allowed that sort of thing because of this sugar. That's why I've gone back and questioned her on that. Okay. Patrick, again, like all the others, I could sit here all night long and just be that telephone between you and your mum. And she's like saying, right, I was going to say have a cuppa, but also a wee dram as well. Because I just feel like if she wouldn't have drunk it, that you would, but it's a wee dram. And she just wants to raise that, because she just makes me feel like it wouldn't have been a big glass. It would have just been a mere tipple, and
it's
she
a
would have
wee
been drunk.
sip of brandy is what I will have, very small.
There you go, but it's a wee dram. Yeah,
very small.
fantastic. But she's doing that. She's raising her glass. She says, raising it, and she's the most sweetest, nice lady. Most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, most of the time.
I'd say all the time.
Yeah. Most of the time, she says.
Okay.
But she would have fought tooth and nail for those she loved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if it was in the background, she would have fought tooth and nail.
Yes,
and quite often she did a lot more than people realised. And it's only really at the end of her life that it's when you guys realise she'd done so much more. Would that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah? Yes.
Yeah, because family for her was everything.
Yes.
Makes sense? Yeah?
Yes.
And she says, thank you. I'm being given April as a special month for you.
I'll write that down. I know. I think I know what that is.
Okay. I apologise. I can't. It's just April. She's just given me April. I could be given the whole, right the way through, all 12 months. But I just asked her, instead of doing that, just bring me to 1 month, and she's given me the April month.
Yeah, I can take that.
But that's something for you as well, not just about her. It's for you. Okay.
Okay.
If it's not you, it's somebody close to you. It's April.
Yes, my wife.
Okay. All right. That's pretty close then, hopefully.
Yeah, pretty close.
Okay. Would you give her, I was going to say a hug, but a shake of the hand from your mum to her? Would that make sense?
Yes,
as
it does.
opposed to a hug.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And she says thank you to your wife.
Okay.
Because I did like you, really. Would that make sense?
Yes, she absolutely did. Yeah. She adored her.
Did like you. Yeah. I did like you, really. but that's her sense of humor as well. Okay.
Yes.
Please take her love. Okay, Patrick, because she's got so much of it for you. You've got a
Yes.
brother here on the earth plane as well. You've got a brother.
I've got 2. I don't talk to them.
Okay. Because I'm just being brought to your brother, but if you've got one older brother,
Yes.
so I'm going to the older brother, okay?
Okay.
Because it's the one older brother, and it's just around him. So it's your choice if you want to talk to them, but there's
No.
something around him, because whatever's going on, if you ever find out, she's just letting you know that she's around him a lot as well. She's around all of you, but him
Yes.
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it may be that you guys do connect again.
No.
And remember that when that ever, if that ever happens, to let you know that she's around each of you.
Brilliant.
All right. But she's also giving you healing as well, especially to your poorly thumb.
Oh yes, my
Okay,
poor
it's
thumb.
just poorly thumb. All right. Okay, but take her love. She
Thank you.
says. Hey, you're
Take care.
welcome.
Thank you
too.
very much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Ian Logan, stop pulling your eyelashes out. Come on. Talk to me, Ian.
Evening, Lainey.
Good evening. Oh, you're the man with the lovely accent.
Well,
Yeah.
not everybody thinks that.
Oh, I love it. I am the Sasnak, mate. I am the Sasnak. So, Ian, who would you like to hear from?
My brother, Jim.
Jim. Brother. Oh, I just get that song, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And I just feel there was that connection between you guys. Would that make sense to you? The relationship
His
between you?
surname, he changed his name. His surname wasn't Logan.
No, I'm on about the connection that you had as brothers. Yeah. You know, they say he ain't heavy, he's my brother. Yeah. As in, like, I don't know the song. I know the song, but I don't. I'm coming away from that. So, come on. Okay. Would you understand, Ian, that your brother was, I know you just said about the change of name, but I feel like it's almost like he's pulled himself away from one part of the family, not the whole, but one part of the family. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I keep getting that song, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. And would you understand he had problems with his weight? And I just feel like I'm trying to see him as a big guy, but I feel he was more a slender guy. But I feel like he also maybe have lost a lot of weight towards the end of his life as well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I'm seeing my pen is thicker than he was at one stage. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, bless him. Okay. Oh, and I'm just getting the song, When You Walk Through the Storm, Hold Your Head Up High. He wants to give that to you as a message that he wants you to, you never walk alone, he says. All right. And that now he's in spirit, he seems to be around you more often than when he was here on the earth plane. Would you understand that too, Ian?
Very much, Lainey.
You understand that around you, yeah? Okay. He's drawing me to the pictures behind you. I can't quite see them clearly. They are, the bottom one looks a bit like the Queen, but it's not. It could be. I don't think it is. But it's something about the photos. And if it's not these photos behind you, but there's that connection that you've got, that photos are a big part of you, Ian, you as a person. Photos are a big part of your life. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Like the memories, the history, and it's bringing it. It's you know, you look at photos all the time, looking at those memories, and you're going through life and the changes in the people around you. And would that make sense to you?
It does, Lainey, but these particular photos are not connected with my brother.
No. I'm just being drawn to them. It's just so. Put that to one side. I'm on about the fact that photographs and the memories and the history, and that you've been looking at photographs, and that they mean a lot to you because of the memories that go with them, and that you've been looking at photos recently. Would that make sense to you now? Think outside that box, as I said earlier on. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So although I'm talking with your brother, I'm also, he's just trying to get into your life to let you know that he's around you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay.
I feel a wee bit guilty here, Lainey, because I never knew my brother till after he died.
Okay.
But I'm saying
Okay.
that, I thought he was a sort of cousin or a second cousin. He was
Right.
with the family, but
Okay. Okay. So tell me no more. So come back to the photographs, Ian. All right. Because would you understand that you have photographs that had him in them, but you didn't know that he was your brother?
I've got photographs of him with his son.
Right.
I'm not in those photos.
Right. Were you aware that he was your brother in those photos at the time?
No.
But you had the photographs, and it's only later that you found out he was your brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, not really. I got the photographs from my nephew, his son.
Right.
After
Okay.
he died, so I got friendly with my nephew, if you like.
Okay.
And
Okay.
he gave me photographs of my brother.
Okay. So it's those photos that I'm just going to leave it at that, because we'll be stuck between the photographs. But he's raising that awareness with the photos, is what I'm trying to say. And it's those memories, or the lack of, because you didn't have that connection growing up. Okay. But it's just bringing me that you've been looking at photos. So that's my misinterpretation, but interpretation, if that makes sense, that is raising the awareness of you having those photographs. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel a bit guilty. I feel I put you on the spot.
No, listen, if you put me on the spot, I wouldn't be able to bring those photos through.
The fact that I thought maybe you could tell me or relate more about my brother was the reason I asked.
Okay, would you understand then through those photographs that there is a resemblance between you and him, both in looks, not complete looks, but you can see your I feel your dad in there. Okay, you look like your dad, the pair of you. Would you understand? A bit of mum as well, but I feel more your dad.
No, Lainey, no.
No?
My brother was the son of my mother before she was married to my father.
Okay. So
I've put you on a spot, lass.
look, please, you haven't. All right. It's just, again, it's all over, but I don't want to then just say stuff that makes it feels like I'm fitting it in. Okay. Because I want you to understand that he is so much closer to you now, is in spirit, because he's got that connection. He's just only sorry that he couldn't have been in your life.
That's
but
correct.
that was out of his control. Would you understand that?
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
spot on there.
And would you understand that you've either done it or you're thinking of doing it? One of those photos in particular of him, okay, of Jim, you're having in a frame, which brings me back to the photos behind you, the framed photos. Would you understand that?
No.
Okay. If you haven't done it, have you been thinking about it?
No.
Okay, I've sown the seed then. He says, I should be up there with your rogue gallery, he says. And he says it with a laugh, because he makes me feel like he was a jovial kind of guy. And you get that information from his son. Would you understand that bit?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because he's just laughing. He says, you can light a candle for me, he says, because I appreciate that, but I'm around you. And he gives me the impression he's sitting on the sofa behind you with the light on, reading his paper, is what he makes me feel. He says, I'm at home. He feels like I could have come round. We could have just met each other on the street. I could have come round and we would just got on like proper brothers. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's just from what you've gathered from meeting his son, etc. It's knowing that his sense of humour and the way he was almost parallel with how you are. Would you understand that, Ian?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And he says, you ain't heavy, you're my brother. Yeah. And he says, thank you so much. And I'm being shown April and May as well. Those 2 months are special months for you. Would that make sense?
I'll probably know about that tomorrow. It takes me a while to think things over, you know.
Yeah, as
I usually do.
hopefully it'll make sense to you tomorrow then. All right.
It usually happens.
Yeah. Okay. But again, think outside the box in respect that it may not be anything to do with him, but it's special to you those 2 months. All right. Okay. All right. And would you understand you've been, I don't know, you actually live in Scotland? I'm only assuming that because your gorgeous accent.
No, I made a mistake in life and I married an English woman.
No, the audacity of it. Okay. Because it's just showing me you don't live anywhere near Gloucester, do you?
No, I'm
Okay, just checking. So I've just been given a G word in England. Okay. Not Glasgow, unless that's where you're from.
No.
No, you're from up that way a bit more, aren't you? The Heeland area. Would that make sense?
East is east and west is west, and there the twain will meet. I'm from Edinburgh.
There you go. All right, so it's sort of that way a bit more from Glasgow, isn't it? Okay. Glencoe. There you go. I'm getting the G as well in Glencoe. That is a special place as well. Would that make sense to you?
Only from reading books and
no good. Okay, I'm actually Elaine Ford, Lady Elaine Ford of Glencoe. There you go. That's my official title.
My goodness.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing what you can buy on the internet. Yeah. So, but please take his love because he appreciates that brotherly love. Because although you weren't aware, as soon as you were aware, there was always something missing. Would you understand that through your life? There always felt like there was something missing.
Yes.
And then when you got those photos, you spoke to his son. It's like the what woulda, shoulda, couldas, but actually you felt that love instantly to your brother. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was told he wanted to tell me as he was getting on in life.
Yeah, it's making that connection.
It was never the right time.
No. But he loves that song. He ain't heavy. He says, "You ain't heavy. You're my brother." And with that, I'll leave you his love. All right.
Lainey, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian. He's a nice guy. Definitely a lovely man.
Cheers.
A bit like you. Cheers to you. Well, cheers. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a slurp. Oh, I wish that was a wee dram. Okay, let me go back. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you.
Right, gallery. Okay. Kevin, how much longer have I got, please? I don't want to finish yet, but I just want to make sure because I can waffle and.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do another one. You're fine.
Oh, I want to do loads. Okay.
Well, you can do more than one if you want to. I'm not going to stop you. You go until you want to stop. There you go.
We'll be here all night.
You tell me when you want to stop, and that's fine.
Okay. I'd like to come to Fiona, please. There we go. Look at her little faces. Oh my God.
Hello.
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 Hello, Fiona. So your little face is up.
I never expect them to come to me.
There you go. Oh, another lovely accent there. Fiona, who would you like to hear from, please?
Me granddad.
Your granddad, yeah. And what's his name?
Barney.
Barney. Oh, I love that name. Don't get many Barneys, do you? My first Barney, this is. Okay. Okay. Would you understand, Fiona, that your granddad Barney was, I feel like quite a tall gentleman. If he wasn't tall, I feel he was definitely taller than you. And I remember, I just see you looking up at him and it's like that with the Werther's, the sweet thing, that kind of thing, looking up. You just looked up to him literally, both mentally and physically and emotionally. Yeah. And I feel that you had that kind of, you felt very safe in his hugs. Would that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And I know that when he passed, I just feel that's one of the major things you'd miss about him was his hugs. Makes sense? Yeah. Because he's just surrounded you with this big loving hug now. And he's just saying, just remember it. He says, you remember it in here, and in here, and I'm with you. Less than a wink away, he says, and he just is giving you a wink as well. Yeah, would that make sense? Would you
Yes.
understand as well? He had dimples when he smiled.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he was a bit of a cutie, weren't he? Really?
Yeah.
He was just proper, a proper gentleman, a proper gentle gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I get the expression gentleman Jim. I know he's gentleman
Yeah.
Barney, but yeah,
Yeah,
does that make
uh-huh.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was old school respect as well.
Yes.
You respected your elders, you respected just respected the ladies, of course. And he just
Yes.
makes you feel he would have elbowed you out of the way so he could open the door for you. Would you
Yes.
understand that? Yes. Okay. Would you understand about trips and falls as well?
Yes.
I'm trying to see with him, but also would you understand that if you've had a little trip or you almost gone flying yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it scared you, would that
Yes.
make sense?
Yes.
And it could have been worse than it actually was, because it was the fear that made
Yes.
it worse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's saying it wasn't me. He says, I don't hold any hands or feet up to that. He says, but that would have been his sense of humour too. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah. He says, but as long as you're all right, he said, see, look for the rainbow, he says. Look for the good in all that bad.
Yeah.
And that's his message to you tonight, is whatever's going on, look for the good, because there's always something.
Yeah.
Always something good about it. Okay. So, okay. Okay. Right. I was being shown October and December as months. All right.
Yes.
But also December, I'm seeing that it's almost like that smell of Christmas, like we've got something about the oranges and the cloves and the oranges.
Yeah.
It may not have physically done that, but just that smell.
Yeah.
Let me just have a look at what I've got on here. Oh no, coral peony. That's the smell of my Yankee candle. But I was thinking, am I just smelling that? But because I've got a pumpkin smelly one in the lounge,
Right.
but I'm not smelling that. I'm smelling the oranges and the cloves, and it's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you understand? It's bringing me to his teeth as well with the cloves.
Yes.
Like he had like bad teeth, but problems. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It's I've got nothing, no problem at all. He's all shiny pearly white now, he says.
Oh,
But actually he's got none, he says. I'm just energy. But he's just such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And I want him to be my granddad.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's just that kind of nice granddaddy type person.
Yeah.
But he also gives me the impression he was quite a proud man.
Yeah.
I don't feel I feel he's a very proud man, but not in a arrogant way.
Oh.
He just makes me feel like he was, again, respectful.
Yeah.
There's something about his socks. And I'm just trying to see, like they in the good old days, they'd wear those suspenders on their socks.
Yeah.
Would that make any sense to you? Because I'm being shown the suspenders like he would have worn those, but also with his sleeves, he's rolling his sleeves up, and he just makes you feel, even doing that, everything was precise. Would that make sense to you? It wasn't just shoved up. Okay. And there's something about wardrobes as well, and I feel that's more to do with you. Would that make sense to you? Yeah. It does. Yeah. Your little face is like, what? I love it. Dunk moment, I call that. Okay, because he's laughing at that now. Okay, it's just made me feel quite serious now. He says, no, serious head on, he says, just to let you know that he is aware. Think about what's going on in your life. He is aware, he says. I understand the way you're thinking things and thinking about things, and it's some decision or something. I know we've always got to make decisions at one point in our lives, or mostly all of our lives, but one in particular with yourself, and I feel that involves a change of some kind, but it also involves finances too. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't involve the wardrobe as well, does it? Or it may do about moving the wardrobe.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, bless him. He wants to take you through the wardrobe into Narnia, but that's more metaphorical as opposed to literal. He says, but it's like literally, I don't know if you write books, read books or whatever, but it's
Uh-huh.
that imagination.
Yeah.
He says, you know, it's your wardrobe, it's your land that's the other side. It doesn't have to be Narnia. It's what you make of it.
Right.
But you've got to open the door and walk through. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Are you involved in feng shui or something that is very minimalist, very you know, it's anything and everything you get that it means something. It's not just
Yeah.
an ornament, it's something that means, like it's you know, like
Yeah.
an angel would be an angel, and it's that spiritual side of it, yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And
that's
he's
right.
just giving me, he's just letting you know he's aware of those, but he loves that about you.
Right.
And he always loved that about you because you were his special one. Would that
Right.
make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He may have
Yeah.
said it to all the other kids, but you were his special
Oh.
one, he says. But he's laughing at that as
Uh-huh.
well. And he's just got fudge. I'm getting sorry, I love fudge. But he's giving me
Yeah.
fudge as well. I wish
Uh-huh.
that was calorie free and sin free, you know. But anyway, salivating now. But he's just maybe he just give me the impression that's why he lost his teeth. He had problems because there was too many sweet things. Would that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But oh, bless you. And he says, thank you for doing what you could do. He says, because when you became an adult, you started to do a lot more adult things for him. Would that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
able to help him. And you drive?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yeah, because I
Yes.
just see you driving him about
Yes.
and taking him to appointments and taking him out and doing things with him. Would that make
Yeah.
sense to you? Yeah. And what you were doing, he says, were creating those fantastic memories, and he thoroughly enjoyed every moment with you.
Lovely.
Okay. And he thanks you for that because you are very kind, caring, thoughtful, wonderful. It's just got this whole list of amazing things to say about you, but he's
Oh.
ticking them off. He's going like this with me. And he says, you know, because that's just how he was, how he felt. And he makes you feel like he was a very encouraging chap towards you as well. Encouraged you to be you,
Yeah.
but also to go with your heart as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I can't see, but I feel that you've got your brain in there in respect of the stuff that you're doing, the work that you do. Would that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to keep you. I know we've got to use our brain all the time. I'm on about the fact that it's putting it into. It just makes you feel like you've got to be on the ball for everything, all your decision making for work. Would that make sense to you? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel it's I don't know what you do at all, Fiona, but I just get the impression that it doesn't just involve you. I just get the impression that you make decisions for others as well.
Yes,
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a lot of pressure at times, and sometimes it just feels too overwhelming. Would that make sense too? Yeah. Okay. And he says you've got the resolve and the strength within, and the knowledge and the heart that puts it all together. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. And he's saying, "You." I'm sorry. He's taking me back to the socks and the suspenders now, because suspenders for ladies is completely different to man suspender socks, all right, or sock suspenders. But he's giving you. He says, pull your socks up, all right, pull your socks up, and you can wear your metaphorical sock suspenders, okay. But it's just that will keep them up. He says that is the your foundation, not wearing sock suspenders. I'm on about the fact that you put the work in, you will get the results, and that it's taken a while, but you're getting there, and you can see that now. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah,
that's
true.
Okay. Yeah. And he's so proud, and I'm okay. But am I being influenced by that? That was a peony. What is a peony? That's a little flower, isn't it? I'm seeing like little flowers, little meadow flowers is what I'm being shown, and he's giving you that little posy. So he's taking me to round about March, April time for months, the special months for you. Okay, would that make sense? So you've got something going on in those months, and he's giving you this little posy as well, because he says you need that little bit more colour in your life. Yeah, just to raise you up as well, and that's what he wants to give you. All right. And there's something about the sea and the sand and the sangria. Okay. Anything else you want to include in there? And he's going with a big wink as well. He's just giving you the jovial side. But the fact is, you've either just sorted out, you've been talking about a holiday, but it involves sea and sand as well. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, I live near the sea. Yeah. Yeah.
All right then. You ain't got far to go then, have you?
Yeah.
Just remember to take your own sangria then. All right. And watch out for that sand because it goes everywhere apparently. But he's laughing now because you can you hear the sea from your window if you open your windows and that?
I'm not that close, but
okay.
Yeah.
But it's just that sound, and it's just that. And but that calms you down as well.
Yeah.
And I just see you going through windswept days, rain, what. Go to the sea, it literally blows the cobwebs away. And he loves that about it as well. All right. And the promenade and walks along the promenade and all of that. And he's there. He's every step with you. Okay. Would you understand as well you've got a brooch or a pin or something that you've got that is in his memory or was from him? Yeah. Because it's like, and that you stabbed yourself with it once or twice as you put it on or off. Would that make sense too? He says sorry about that, but he's now laughing as well because it's like just reminding you I'm still here, he says, but it doesn't want to hurt you, and he never ever hurt you. Would that make sense as well? Because that would have been no, he couldn't have done that. Does that make sense? Will you please take his love, Fiona, because he's just got so much of it. Your mum's still here? And your dad? Yeah, because he's giving his love to them as well. Because whatever's going on in their lives at the moment, is just let them know that he's around both of them.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, just to let them know that. All right, because I feel I'm trying to see if his mum's dad or dad's dad, and I just feel he was like, doesn't matter. He says I was dad to them. Does that make sense?
Definitely.
Okay. So it's mwah to all of you, he says, and thank you.
Thank you.
That's what he says. Thank you. All right.
Lovely.
Thank you, Fiona.
Thank you. That's brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers. Tell Kevin. Thank you. Right, let's go back to gallery. Right. Have I got time for one more?
You may, if you wish. If you're feeling it, you can go for it.
Okay. I'm going to go for Sheila Lion. Oh, look at her little face. I love it. Oh, no, she says.
Hello.
Hiya. Hold on. Let's put you on to speaker. There you go. Oh, I've got Kevin. Say hello again, my lovely.
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Hello. We're on candid camera. Got a camera up there behind you. It's behind you.
Oh, yes. It's a pet one.
Okay. So, Sheila, who would you like to hear from, please, my lovely?
Kate, my mum.
Kate, your mum.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Sheila, would you understand that there was so much heartache around your mum's loss? It was leading up to, and it was not letting go, both on her part and your part and everybody else's part. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And oh boy, she just makes me want to bawl my eyes out. The sound of silence meant a lot to her. It's not that particular version, she says, because that would have been it was the original. She takes me back to the original version. I can't remember who that was. Simon and Garfunkel, I think. Yeah. That kind of music is more her style. Would that make sense to you? Yeah. But she appreciates what's being played today. That's quite funny. But it's the wording of it as well. And she says it's like I just get the impression that sound of silence, the wording of it, meant a lot to her and meant a lot to you as well.
Yeah.
Would that make sense to you? Yeah. And I get the impression as well I'm not on commission for anybody that sings The Sound of Silence, but I just feel that's quite poignant for tonight in regards to what's going on in your life at the moment. Is you could just take yourself away and you just listen to nothing. Would that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. She says, if I was there now physically, I'd be boxing their ears. Would you understand that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do a bit more than boxing them, she says. Okay. Now I can haunt the little buggers. Would that
Yeah.
make sense too? Yeah. Okay. But again, that's all part and parcel of her sense of humour too. She's just really funny. Formidable is a word of I would say with her as well. Gosh, she wasn't into voodoo, was she? Because she just showing me dolls and putting pins in them and stuff. But it's meant in a funny way. Would that make sense to you?
She wasn't into that, but I know why she's doing it.
Okay. Okay. But she's funny. But again, it's her sense of humour.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if she could have done, she would have put the world to rights and she would have gone absolutely berserk over Boris Johnson at the moment. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
opinionated and very screaming at the telly as if they can hear her.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh wow. Okay. She makes you feel like she wasn't a very tall lady. She makes you feel she's about 5'5", 5'6", around about that way. Maybe even a little bit shorter.
Sure.
And I just feel that she was like, she doesn't matter. Size isn't everything, she says. And she's like, puts a stomp in her step as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you've got a bee in a bonnet and oh my gosh, I'm like, oh, okay, bringing myself down again. But she said something about your mattress as well. I don't know, but it's going on with your mattress. Would that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
It does, yeah. Boom. Okay. Whoa. Right. But she's jumping up and down on it as well because she says she'd like you, okay, Sheila, to find your inner child again,
Okay.
to start smiling from the inside out again. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
says, please do that. All of that dramas, let them all get on with it. But for you, she wants to bring that inner child. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're taking it all on board and a lot of it, most of it isn't your fault, isn't in your control. Okay. And she says, and if it gets too much, I'll trip them up, she says. Obviously not literally, but that's the kind of person, because she loved you just a bit. All right. Just a bit. I mean, that's a lot. But she would have stood up. Yeah. And she's the type that would have elbowed you out of the way to stop the people hurting you as well. Would that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Would you understand about knitting or being crafty? If it wasn't mum, if it's yourself, somebody around you that's here on the earth plane now.
My daughter's a bit like that, but not majorly.
Okay. No, it doesn't have to be majorly. It doesn't have to be a business. It's just the fact she's bringing to the knitting or the crocheting, but it's using the fingers. Okay. And I just felt it was somebody here on the earth plane. So so she's just letting you know she's aware of all of you. Okay. Now I can't see the photo that's behind you. Don't move because your head is there. All right. But there's something about that photograph that I'm being drawn to. I cannot see what it is at the moment. Before we see it, if you want us to see it, do you understand which picture is on the wall behind you?
Yeah, I was just thinking, yeah.
Would you understand that would mean something to you in respect of in your memory of mum?
Yes.
Let's have a look at that picture.
Without saying.
Say again?
It's difficult without me saying.
Okay, can I see the picture? Because she's just drawing me to that picture. Oh, it's Pussycats.
Yeah.
Oh, bless. Okay, because she's just drawing me to that picture. Okay, but it would have been something memory linked to mum as well.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I understand.
You sure? It's not just fitting it?
No.
Okay. Would you understand that you are not drinking enough water as well?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Okay. She wants to reel off this long list of poorly things about yourself in the regards of but they're things that you can try and help yourself to deal with. Does that make sense too? Yeah. And I feel like she wants to be your oh gosh, who's the posh nurse that was in the war? Nightingale. She wants to be your Nightingale. All right, because she just makes me feel like that you could do with a proper all your vitamins and all the rest of it as well. And she would have made sure that you would have sorted you out just like you were helping her. And she makes me feel like you were taking her to everything, appointments, and they were just generally, I can't see you saw her every single day, but I just feel that you were very close in that regard. If it wasn't visually seeing, it was phone calls, it was there was always that contact. Yeah. She says it's even more so now because you feel her. Now, I can't see you wearing a necklace, but I'm being drawn to a necklace, and I'm just seeing it as like a heart, or it's some kind of, it's something that's quite significant about mum. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, I have a heart locket with her hair in it. Yeah.
I think that's quite significant. Get in there. Okay. Just do this. It's great fun, I tell you. Right. Where's she going? Right. She's talking about your purse. Right. Now she's showing me, and I don't feel it's I don't know. You know, the purse, it's not a zip, it's like the little twisty thing that you just clip closed. Yeah. But she's just showing me that this is metaphorically. So this clip keeps opening up. So your purse, no matter what you put in there, it just comes out, and it all flies off. All your money flies away. Yeah. As soon as it goes in, it comes out. Yeah. Okay. But she's saying, get yourself a zip up. She says it'll stop it all. But what she's showing me is a different purse for different things. And each one's got a zip. So you do it and you do it up. And this is giving you a little finance thing that, you know, put it to one side and don't touch it. Yeah. Does that make sense? You want it for that. You'll never save up if you keep spending it. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it's just do one bit at a time. Okay. And oh gosh, okay. I'm getting songs. I don't normally get songs, but tonight's about songs. I want to lay you down on a bed of roses. And she's just showing this beautiful spray of roses. Would that make sense to you? But she says it's like I was laid down on a bed of roses, that she was. Yeah. And she's just very gently falling down. It's like everything's slow motion onto these beautiful roses. And she said, I went with so much love around me. Would that make sense? Yeah. And she said, I hope you could feel the love coming from me too, because I felt all of you around me at the end. Would that make sense? Yeah. And I'm at peace. I'm at rest. I'm just this beautiful golden light, and that's how she makes me feel. Would that make sense too? Yeah. Okay. And would you understand as well, you've got something that makes you feel like something sparkly or something? I don't know if you've got a TV on in the background or whatever there. I'm not seeing that. I'm on about maybe in another room, but there's something that sparkles. And if it's catch it in the corner of your eye, whatever, but it just catches you. And she says, that is me. But as you turn around to look properly, it's not there. And she says, that's me, just to let you know, I am that close. Yeah. And I will always be that close. So anytime you think to the world and things around you, just close your eyes, breathe, and think of me, and we'll go for that cup of tea. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. I love you so much, she says, and that's never stopped. All right. From the moment I first knew I was expecting you, I loved you. Would that make sense to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to cry myself. Please take her love, Sheila. Yeah. All right. Because you were the special one. Another one that says it was only you were the special one, no one else. But she just makes me feel like you had that it was difficult. I'm not saying it was all light and fluffy. I'm on about the fact that you did have that connection between each other, mother-daughter, but also mother-daughter friendship and companionship, and she appreciates all of that. And puzzles. There's something about puzzles as well. All right.
Right.
Search, that sort of thing. So I'm just seeing, just makes me feel like there's something going on with her mind. And I just feel there that it was like, she was rubbish at maths as well. It's either rubbish or absolutely awesome, one or the other. Would that make any sense to you?
Yeah, rubbish, really.
Okay. She's like, I'm awesome now, she says. But she's laughing now because you guys could have just talked about anything. And you did. Set the world to rights, just waffled. She says, waffled. And but she's just, there's something about her cooking as well, and the smell, smell of it. Oh God, I can't wait to eat that. Proper cooking. But she says you've got so many beautiful memories, but you can carry on making beautiful memories. Just remember that. Okay. And that heart locket. that you touch it occasionally, you hold it. Would that make sense too?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you talk to her when you're holding it. Or
Yeah.
you can hold that in here, she says, and in your heart, and so you don't have to physically hold it. Just know, yeah.
Yep.
I'm but a thought away, she says. Okay.
Yep.
You all right with that?
Yeah, lovely, thank you.
Please take her, love, because she's got so much of it. All right.
Yeah.
Not just for you, but the other lot as well, she says.
Yeah.
And she said, and the other lot as well. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Sheila. Thank you so much.
Lovely, thank you very much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, my lovely. Okay.
Beautiful, Lainey. Thank you very much for stopping me there. I know you said it was the last one anyway, but just in case you forgot.
Oh.
You did some fantastic readings. I'm sure everybody else will agree with that. It's a different way of working, and it was lovely to watch. So thank you so much for that. Right then, we'll give out our notifications for next service, which next Saturday, obviously, 19th of February, and we have Nathan Drury coming along. He has been before, so I'm sure you will enjoy him. We have our online open circle on Tuesday evenings where you can come along and get a reading. 7:45, that is, doors open. And we have our online Shakti Breathwork group on Thursday evenings, doors open at 7:45 for that too. You can find the links to all of our online events in our online community by visiting the website, amadeitist.org. It's free to join, so do please join up. You also get access to the recordings of all our services and our other events too. Okay, so that's me done. I will hand back to you, Lainey, for the closing prayer.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Right, if you all get into your little quiet space there, you close your eyes and you send out that love, but please don't just send it out, send it back to yourself as well, because you've got to love who you are. Divine Source, guides, spirit friends and loved ones, thank you for this evening. Thank you for working with me and through me, and for giving those messages out from their loved ones. For those that didn't receive messages, know your loved ones are around, and hopefully take solace and comfort knowing that next time you'll get a message, and know that your loved ones are still there, still always around you. Please send healing out to everybody in this world, as above and below, to our beautiful animal kingdom that suffers so terribly at the hands of humans. Please surround each and every one of us with love, healing, and a beautiful golden light of healing protection. Until we meet again. Amen.
Amen.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsel's guide uphold you. With his sheep securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. Neath his wings securely hide you. Daily manna still provide you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet, till we meet,
till we meet at Jesus' feet.
till we meet, till we meet.
God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. When life's perils thick confound you, put his arms unfailing round you. God be with you till we meet again.
Till